Welcome to Moments in Time with Lucien Byfield. Today we shall look back on the history of the Belgian Grand Prix. The Belgian Grand Prix has predominantly been held at Spa-Francorchamps, although in various layouts and lengths. Other tracks, notably Zolder, which would feature rather infamously for the death of Gilles Villeneuve in '82, hosted the race 10 times, with a few other circuits hosting briefly during the early years of the event. There have been 25 drivers from Belgium to race in Formula 1, but Thierry Boutsen and Jackie Ickx are the most notable and memorable to have participated. Although both would win races in Formula 1, neither would win at home. Ickx might just be more famous for waving the flag at the 1984 Monaco Grand Prix rather than for his playboy looks and stellar GP career netting 8 wins, in an era where a few wins was a good career haul. Stoffel van Dorn is the latest to have raced, that being for McLaren in 2018. One famous name, Lucien Bianchi, was to score 1 podium in his Formula 1 career. And yes, that name is familiar, isn't it? For more than one reason. As Jules Bianchi was his grandnephew. Other notables include Patrick Neve, Eric van der Poel, Paul Frere, and, in an ironic twist of fate, Bertrand Gachot, who would make way for the debut of Michael Schumacher in 1991, thus missing his home race, and, at the time, looking like having ended his own career due to macing a taxi driver, resulting in jail time. The usual suspects have been the predominant winners in Belgium, with Michael Schumacher heading the list on 6 wins, Senna on 5, Clark and Raikkonen on 4, and maybe, surprisingly, Hamilton with only 3 wins, alongside Fangio, Vettel and Damon Hill. Prost and Lauda won twice each as well. For the overall stats, Schumacher could easily be sitting on 7 overall Belgian wins, due to his disqualification in 1994 regarding that plank issue after spinning on a curb. That was very suspect if you ask me, even though I was a Damon Hill fan. And Hamilton should rightly be on 4 wins, but Felipe Massa stole the 2008 race after not leading a lap. Hamilton technically obeyed the rules of the day after cutting a corner, letting Raikkonen back into the lead. The problem was he did it in a way that gained him an advantage to retake the lead. Now, I can see both sides, but Hamilton did obey the written rule of the day, and as he won on track, he should have been allowed the win. Those last few laps in 2008 were some of the most intense racing seen, with the drivers struggling in semi-wet conditions on the wrong tyres and swapping positions repeatedly. Raikkonen had taken the mantle from Schumacher of being the man of Spa, but in this particular race, he crashed out. He would get his final Ferrari win here in 2009, his final of his first stint at Ferrari, of course. One strange absence from the winners list is Fernando Alonso. If you want to see some fantastic footage of days gone by, check out the movie Grand Prix from 1966, starring James Garner. The movie is a classic featuring real drivers, tracks and teams of the day. One of the races captured is Belgium, and the producers reenacted the kind of accident Jackie Stewart would have in the real race, resulting in him being stuck in a car for nearly half an hour, with the risk of fire so common in those days. That incident would play a massive role in how Jackie Stewart conducted his racing and his advocacy for circuit safety in the years that followed. It made him very unpopular, but his actions will have prevented countless injuries and deaths. Today, Jackie receives the credit due, but at the time he was heavily criticised. He would win at Zolder in '73, a kind of redemption for the '66 race at Spa. Spa has been referred to as Michael Schumacher's living room due to the success and the historic significance of his first drive in '91, the first win in '92, his 6 wins, and of course that title win being sewn up in 2004. But he also surpassed Alain Prost's tally of 51 wins by winning for the 52nd time in 2001. Shuey also celebrated his 300th race in 2012 at Spa. But let us not forget 1998, where he rear-ended Coulthard and stormed down the pits in a rage to throttle DC. Ha! It has been revealed he also played a part in getting his little brother out of Jordan by threatening Eddie Jordan because of his use of team orders, which ensured a famous 1-2 for the Jordan team, their first victory in Formula 1, which favoured Damon Hill, who got his last career win there and it was his first outside of a Williams car. Good or bad, and mostly good, Shuey certainly featured heavily at Spa. Rubens Barrichello would also contest his 300th Grand Prix in Belgium in 2010, but more notable was his first pole position in a very uncompetitive Jordan in 1994. Nigel Mansell reportedly grabbed Senna by the throat and lifted him off the ground against a wall in 1987 after their tangle for the lead early in the race. People still argue who was right and wrong, but Senna and Mansell had banged wheels on far too many occasions prior to this 87 race, and it was to come to a head. Alain Prost in that race equalled Jackie Stewart on 27 wins, which at the time was the record. This weekend marks a year since Sebastian Vettel last won a Grand Prix, having dominantly taken the win in 2018. Mercedes have been the team for the last few years overall, despite a Ricciardo win in 2014, due to a coming together with Hamilton and Rosberg at the start. I would expect nothing less than a Hamilton win in 2019. He is the form man in the best car overall and does not really have a teammate to challenge him on a regular basis. He might have won in 2014. He did win in 2015 and 17, but he had to watch Germans Nico Rosberg and Sebastian Vettel win in 2016 and 2018. For those of us who love a good smash-up, look no further than 1998, 2012 and last year. 98 saw the mother and father of all first lap crashes, basically taking out half of the field, thanks to David Coulthard's spinning in the spray. Ironically, he would restart and create more history, as mentioned before. 2012 was the start line crash that could have killed Fernando Alonso, where Romain Grosjean got the full blame for a start line crash, although I have always maintained that Hamilton could have slightly lifted, as you also have a right to avoid contact too, rather than just have an accident and blame somebody else. Last year, the first year of the Halo, saw Fernando Alonso involved again, this time rear-ended by Hülkenberg, sending Nando on top of Charles Leclerc. With tyre marks on the Halo, it was widely considered that the Halo saved young Charles' life. But there have been many crashes over the years where helmets were scraped, cracked or broken. Just ask Piquet, Adelaide 89, or Warwick, Monza 90. Finally, let us savour what some deem as the best passing manoeuvre in the history of Formula 1. In 2000, Mika Hakkinen was trying to win a third title in a row. The year had started badly, but by mid-season he was right back in the thick of it, briefly leading the points table. Shuey and Mika came to Spa with the title hanging in the balance, and at first it looked like Mika was going to walk it. As per usual, in Spa, the weather was erratic, and Mika had a very strange spin on a damp patch while leading. It gave the lead to Michael. With a few laps to go, Mika had caught up and attempted a pass where Michael did what he did best, closing the door and forcing Mika onto the grass. Anyway, the very next lap, Mika was in no mood to take it lying down, so when the two of them approached Ricardo Zonta, Mika chose the hard way, to the right, but sandwiched Ricardo and somehow didn't lose traction and took the lead from Michael Schumacher. At the end of the race, Mika was seen showing Michael, a very sheepish Michael I might add, what he had done wrong. Mika, never one to blab to the press or to make a big deal out of their intense rivalry, put Shuey in his place that day, but Michael would win all of the remaining races that year and the title. That's it for Moments in Time with Lucy and Byfield. Catch you next time.